Hello and good evening. I'm Jeff Mercurio. This is Buried Stories. I'll tell you what, it's been 1 year since we've been doing it.
Happy birthday to you.
So, nobody thought we'd ever get this far, but we beat the odds, so one more time.
Happy birthday to you.
Anyhow, with me tonight, Wendell Brown, as you guys know. Wendell, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Jeff. Happy Tuesday.
Yes, happy Tuesday.
How's
it
it
is.
going? Sirius Radio call you back yet about our radio channel?
They have, but they said they can't do nothing just yet.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And also joining us tonight is my brother, Steve Mercurio. Steve.
Woo!
Yeah.
Anniversary, baby.
I know. Let's get physical, right?
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get physical.
Oh,
Physical.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Buried Stories, and you guys have been watching us for a year. We lasted this long. My son, he never thought we'd last. He thought, a couple months and this will fizzle out. But we got quite a library going for us right now, so we're getting up there. But tonight we're going to answer some questions and go over some comments and talk about the future of this program. So let's get into it.
It's our anniversary. I don't know if you guys remember that R&B song.
Oh, yeah.
Very famous. I think it was either late 90s or early 2000s. Yeah. It's our anniversary.
I think we're all still married too. That was quite a
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
R&B song.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go over some questions. We'll each answer some accordingly. So we'll get started. And my son came up with these questions. So thank you, Tyler, for coming up with these. First question, how did this show get started? Wendell, would you like to field that one? How did this show get started?
Yeah, it was interesting that this background I have tonight, that Strong Like Bull emblem behind me. My son does a podcast. He started a podcast about entrepreneurs, and he basically he interviews really successful business people, and the point of the podcast is to find out at what point they went from employee to owner and what made them make that jump. So he did his podcast, and we kind of ran off of a lot of his setup. And he actually told me one time that the only reason he did his podcast was so we would do one and know how to do one and have the means and methods to do it. So that's how he knew that you and I talked a lot and that we had a lot to say and nobody to listen to sometimes. So that's how it all was born. It was he did that podcast, kind of showed us the ropes, set us up a little bit, and then we took it from there. So because we had a lot to talk about, but the reason for the show is that we like to, what I say, philosophize. We like to talk about things you can't talk to everybody about. Some people like to talk about the things we talk about. Some people think about the things we talk about, and we enjoy the heck out of talking about what we talk about. So that's how we did it. And it's funny because Jeff, you and I talked 2 years about this for 2 years before we started the podcast. And we were going through we're so old school. We were talking about bringing cameras to each other's houses and filming it and then digitizing whatever the film was. A totally never would happen scenario. And then finding the time to actually travel to each other's house and sit down and talk and stuff. And that's kind of where my son came in as far as showing us this medium of how we could do it a lot easier, a lot quicker. The only pain in the neck is the editing afterwards. But, we wing that. Tyler does the boatload of ours now. So So that helps out so much.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. And but that's how it was born. We like to talk. We like to talk with each other. And we wanted to capture what we were talking about instead of letting it just go into the ether. We wanted to, there are going to be people in our families and friend circle and people we don't even know that's going to pull this show up 20 years from now, and they're going to be able to listen to some cool things, and so that's how it was born, and we stuck with it for a year so far, and hopefully we have many more.
I see. And Steve, when did you join the cast?
Well, what's interesting about this whole thing is I think we were the second episode was involving our family. And so, I mean, that was awesome just to be on it. I think early on, I was just kind of a guest, occasionally come on, talk about the ghost, experiences that I've had, places that I've visited when I went out on paranormal expeditions, things of that nature. But then later on, I'd say probably, I want to say at least 7 months ago, give or take, I think you guys added me full time. So I appreciate the opportunity. And I love coming in here every Tuesday and giving it our all. I mean, I just love having these conversations. And, I hope we continue doing this. I feel like it's like a nice outlet. And it allows us to have these discussions that in the real world, look, I could talk to people, but doesn't mean that they're interested. But I know when I come on this show, we're going to have some conversations that I'm definitely interested in having. So it's been a great year, man.
Yeah. And on that, Jeff, and I enjoy so much. We learn from each other too.
Oh yeah.
I've changed my opinion several times on things after listening to you two talk, and on Steve, with Steve coming on board. I think I mentioned it to you, Jeff, that I was a little worried at the beginning because Steve was a periodic guy and I didn't know how many ghost stories we would have. And I was thinking he would be good on here. He needs to be on the sounding board panel here. And so I was really glad when you joined, Steve, and you kept staying around, because I was worried you'd be a periodic guy that we really wanted to talk to. And, if you do one every 30 shows, you don't have no idea what we're talking about in between.
True.
But now we do, and we can reference things. So I thought that was a win for us during the year, Jeff, was landing Steve and getting him to stay and keep coming on. And Tyler too. Tyler's a little more periodic, but he's pretty when we want him, he usually makes himself available.
Right.
So, but I was really glad to get Steve on full time. It gives us I think it gives us a nice balance, and with his charisma and stuff, he makes me look bad, but with his charisma and energy and things like that, I think it breathes life into the show. So I kind of like, I like having him around.
I appreciate it.
I always knew dude could talk. So
yeah,
it's like,
true.
So I was like, he'd be great, because we would scramble around going, what are we going to talk about this upcoming week? Oh, I'll try to shoot Steve a text, see if he'll he'll fill a half hour.
Yeah,
that's true. I'm at least good for a half hour. So
So that's how we got started. And Wendell, you're right. We used to talk at work, and we talked about writing a book or this or that, and just capturing stories on camera, just to have them, but to be able to actually put this out there, and then to have a YouTube channel as well, and generate some people watching, some views and following. I mean, it was fascinating. So I look forward to the next year. Yeah,
been a good time.
Oh yeah.
The second question here, it's favorite and least favorite episode. Favorite and least favorite episode. Steve, we'll start with you on that one.
Well, you know what? As far as let's go with favorite first. I've one that really stands out to me. I mean, look, obviously it's easy. It's an easy answer to just come out here and say the 34th Street haunting on 34th Street
Right.
to bring our fam. You know what? That's the easy answer here. And obviously that one is near and dear to my heart. To be able to come onto a medium and bring the whole family out and have some discussions. Cause I even learned some new stories and everything that maybe I hadn't heard before from our family. But that being said, that's too easy. Personally, I like the Trumbull County UFO incident one. Because I had heard about that I'd heard about that UFO incident before. I had, right, because of Art Bell and everything. But when we dove into it, I had learned so much more about that incident than I even remember hearing on Art Bell. Not that we covered it better. I'm just saying all those years I'd forgotten a lot of stuff about it and everything. I just us covering it. Plus I got to do the intro for that one.
Yeah.
And I just, and it's close. It's here in Ohio. So it's like one of those stories you couldn't even believe that a state of Ohio had this amazing UFO incident that barely anybody talks about, even in the UFO world.
Right.
As we talked about how it stood out. Now, as far as I think my least favorite ones would be our debate episodes. Anytime we had, I always liked when we had like a subject going in, something we can kind of go do a little bit of research on and everything. Look, I love having the conversations. Just the debate ones were probably my least favorite ones. So,
Gotcha. Wendell, same question to you. Least or favorite and least favorite episode so far?
Oh, far and away, my favorite is the Warp Bubble. But I really like the Trumbull County one. I learned something on that. I really don't have a least favorite one. The one's probably like the Wendigo one. I didn't really get into that one too much, and but I still liked it. I still liked learning about it, and but I'm the alien UFO guy. Steve's the ghost guy, and anything biblical, we go to you, Jeff. So, I love talking biblical stories. I think they can be both inspirational, and they can be so horrifying. You're thinking, wow, why are we here? But, so I really like the biblical ones. I hope we do more biblical ones in the future, kind of Revelations a little bit. I don't just want to hang on Revelations, but there's a lot more somebody like you, Jeff, that can bring up in other books of the Bible that are very interesting. But I like all the alien ones. I like all the disclosure ones. But Warp Bubble far and away is my favorite. I could have talked for days on that one. And I really didn't have any least favorite ones. The Garian, there's some that I did not want. I was not looking forward to that. I actually really kind of liked them. La Llorona was my favorite one. Going into, I was like, oh boy, what's this one about? I think we've done some neat things with the stories, and I think you're going to have another question here in a little bit, so I'll hold off on my thoughts on a couple of them. But my favorite is a Warp Bubble. I liked all of them. Didn't really care for the Wendigo one as much as others. I don't know if I was a little disappointed in the giant one or not. I don't know that we got anywhere on that one, but that was an interesting story. One that got away from us was Noah's Ark. And I think we'll have to revisit that one because I was really looking forward to that one, and you guys didn't like it at all. But I think we also came at it from two different points.
Yeah,
right.
We came at it from two different where you guys thought Noah's Ark was and where I think Noah's Ark was. We're totally two different things, and it just didn't mesh, so we never produced that one. But I look forward to maybe revisiting that one in the future, but we let that one get away. But yeah, Word bubble
I'll
all day
never
long.
live that down.
Wendell, I'm kind of surprised in a weird way for a second here. Not with your favorite one, but I'm surprised that maybe the one you least interested you was the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that one didn't really pique my interest a whole lot either.
I don't know
Matter of
why.
fact, Tyler
Yeah,
and I are going to arm wrestle over that one. But
I just
yeah.
felt like you were just kind of sitting there like, I don't even know where to go with this one.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't my favorite. Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah, fair enough. Jeff?
Well, my favorite episode was any time that we had guests on. So I love to hear people's stories, and just to let them talk about it. You learn so much about them, their situation they're going through. Because we grew up, if you go back to the 34th Street haunting, just can you relate to what they're going through? And just to see how they're handling it and things like that. Yeah, so that people's stories always fascinate me.
Mhm.
I don't have a least favorite because I always learn something with each one that we go into. You're right, Steve. On a lot of the debate ones, those seem to be put together, when there was like a lull in, all right, what are we going to do next? Because we put these out every week, so it's hard to, all right, let's research this, let's research that. So I don't have a least favorite. The ones that I'm unprepared for are probably my least favorite ones, to put long story short.
Yeah.
So anybody? Somebody
Yep.
say something?
Next
Oh,
question.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Which guest was your favorite so far? Wendell, we'll go to you on that one.
I liked them all. I really I hesitate to say a favorite. I really enjoyed all their stories. I appreciate them coming on and talking. Will's prison one was interesting.
Mhm.
A world we don't deal with. The girl that was in Chicago, that's got the demon
Natasha,
haunting her.
yep.
That was interesting. The Bigfoot one was interesting.
Yep.
Steve's shadow people and near death experience was interesting. Jamie's UFO incidents
Mhm.
were matter of fact, Jamie's a kind of a hidden participant to our show. He emails me just about every week with some, he watched the show and gives me his opinion on it. So, and then if something new pops up, he's sending it to me. And the same way with my son, he sends me stuff he sees and hears and gives me critique on our shows all the time. So, but I didn't have a favorite guest. I was interested in all their stories. I'm glad they came on and told about it. I'm surprised about how many people won't tell their stories. And it's a sad state on our society how many would like to, but they don't have time. And I understand that. I can't argue with anybody not having time, but but I enjoyed all of our guests. I really don't have a favorite one. I was glad I was interested in them all. There were stories I didn't know before they told them, and they were really interesting. Like I said, the girl from Chicago, boy, I hope she gets help. She had a scary one.
Now, Steve, with you, are you still there?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Everything froze up here.
Yeah, it's just you, Jeff.
Of course. I turned everything off this time. Golly, man.
There you go.
All right. Steve, have you been with us when we've had a guest yet?
Yes, I missed the episode. For some odd reason I couldn't have been on there that night, but the wonderful lady in Chicago,
Right.
which
Okay.
I gotta tell you was just a great show all around. I mean, that poor lady, what she's going through right now. I think it stands out. I think it's exactly what this show is about. And I
Mhm.
agree with what Wendell, like, I would love to have more guests on. And I know there's a question coming up here where we can discuss that. And look, I'd probably say that obviously going back again, having my family on
Yeah.
discuss the
Yep.
34th episode, haunting episode, that was probably my favorite. But next to that is definitely the lady in Chicago. I mean, her story is just, it's haunting in a way that, you know, like for all that stuff that just follows her and everything,
Right.
and her poor family. Because there really isn't a lot of places you can go to get the proper help. I mean, you can't open up, you could barely go online and put that in there, let alone trying to look up, like, here I am going old school, the yellow pages.
Yeah.
In the yellow
Wow.
pages. But it's seriously, like, that poor lady, where do you go find help? I mean, other than maybe going to a church and whatnot, and half the time they may believe you, half the time they may not.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's a little sad, but I'd say she was probably my favorite guest episode. Yeah.
Right.
I was curious on that. You mentioned your sisters because they were phenomenal, and that was one of our early shows. So we may have to revisit that one too in the future, but and get them back if they would join us. But do they talk to you guys about the show? Do they watch it at all? Do they keep
I know
tabs
Shelly
on it?
does. I'm absolutely. Shelly will send me messages, texts all the time that she watches our show.
That's
and
cool. That's
wishes
cool.
us a great, she loves it, wishes us a great episode, and she enjoys it. So, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't talk to Jenny a tremendous amount. I do try to, but she works like different hours.
Right.
And so sometimes getting in contact with her is a little bit troublesome. But whenever I talk to Shelly, I know she texts me usually almost weekly or every other week, like, hey, got to see your guys' episode. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
And
That's good.
That,
That's good. I
that
really
would be-
enjoyed talking to them and hearing their story. But
Yeah.
that was one of our early ones.
Yeah.
So I think we would be a better interview at this point. I think I would
Yeah.
hope so.
yeah, I would think so.
And that was probably my favorite. I would have to say my favorite guest, because I know how hard it is to get everybody together. And it just happened so well that time that, I got everybody together because it's a rare event. So, but I love all our guests. I just love everybody's story, and we'll get into more of that as we go here. Oh, this is a good one. Steve, which episode do you think deserved more attention?
You know what? I'm going to say that in the one that stands out to me is the Virginia episode. Now, please don't get me wrong. I thought we had done a pretty good job on that. But going back, that was the first episode that I realized that we need to change up the script a little bit on how we approach the show. Because what I realized is we all did some research and we came together, but we didn't really tell the story of that. And that was the first one where I challenged Jeff, like, you know what? We should tell a story so that people understand, so that afterwards, when we debate it, people already heard the story. Now they're going to hear us philosophize on it, as Wendell would say. And I felt like there was so much more content. We could have probably done 2 episodes on the Virginia episode. I mean, it was just such a fascinating story. And I think we had done, look, I'd give us probably a solid, probably B minus on it, but it's such great material. And it was a story that I had never really heard of. I think I heard it on a different podcast and I was shocked at what I was hearing. And so, you know, I just, and I love the different aspects of that show. You know, Wendell, you had brought up the 3 young ladies or school age girls that were walking home that had their whole separate version of the story, right? But then on the same time, you have the 2 military men, right, that are driving and actually see this and capture it and take it to a regular hospital of all places. Then you have the neurologist or whatever that's treating this. I mean, there's just so many fascinating things about and this is a foreign country too. And for all this stuff to still exist out there and it's not that far away, back in the 90s, man. So
Mhm.
I'd say I kind of wish, had we redone that episode, I'd try to take my time with it a little bit more and maybe try to either break it up into two different stories, or just spend a little bit more time trying to be as direct as we possibly can, bringing up the names more of the different people. So that would be mine.
I got you. That was a good episode
It
too. I
was.
mean, that is a fascinating story. Um, but Wendell, how about you?
Well, I don't know. One is ongoing. Like my main topic is ongoing, the disclosure and all that. And we just touch on the surface of a lot of that stuff, but there's a lot more to talk about Lazar and the eggs and our reality and dimensional stuff. But I would say the story that is kind of incomplete to me is the Las Vegas one.
Absolutely.
The yard one. It's kind of incomplete. It's almost like the shooting that happened there. It happened and now nobody talks about it.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of different topics out there probably under that category that have come and gone, and you're thinking people, people died in this, or why aren't we talking more about it? And maybe that's our coup de grace kind of thing about our show, is that we do talk about stuff like that and we bring it back and we unbury it, so to speak. So, but I think out of all of them, I think we did a kind of good job. Trumbull County, I could have talked about. Now I can talk about more. Now that we've talked and thought about it and seen some things and learned some things, I think every one of the stories we would have enhanced if we did them now. But the one that if you're asking which one could have been dug into more, and the one I think was kind of incomplete, was the Las Vegas one, and maybe along the same lines, the one in Florida at the mall.
That never got produced.
Yeah, that one we didn't put out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, the Las Vegas one's kind of still out there a little bit for me.
And that one, I think you were like on vacation or going somewhere, Wendell,
Yeah.
and it was myself and Steve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was put together so quick. We did not have time to really look into it. And so, yeah, that's something that's one that came right to my mind. There's so much more to that than what we talked about. And it was like one of those episodes after it came out. So, yeah, I agree with that. The Las Vegas.
Because it's such a good story.
It is.
And by the way, you got potential, not only a UFO landing in modern time, potentially, right? You got the Men in Black involved in that story. You got the government surveillance involved in that story. I mean, there's just that story. You're right. I'd actually agree with you, Wendell. I think that one, if we had redone that one again, I think we'd approach it differently, especially with you on there, Wendell, because I think we were looking for a subject last minute because you weren't going to be available that day. And we were like, we still want to get, posts out there. We still want to get shows out there. Yeah. And I think I had just seen part of that story and I was like, you know what? So yeah, I agree with you, Wendell. That one, yeah, if we approached it today, we would do it differently for sure.
And I think you can say it about all of our shows. We would make them all bigger, bolder, better than they were. That's why I'd really like to do your 34th Street haunting again sometime. If we could get all the folks back on, because now I just think we would make it bigger and bolder.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be good to revisit, especially if we could get some of the extra characters that had witnessed that.
Yeah, add something new to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the next question here, is there a dream guest you'd love to have on the show? A dream guest you'd love to have on the show. We'll go to Wendell. Wendell, dream guest you'd love to have on the show.
Yeah, Lazar would be hands down the one I would want. And
would he
for
be-
many reasons, I have a lot of questions. There's things he's told pretty much the whole story, but like the rest of us, when you tell a story, you still know a couple things that you may have not brought up for whatever reasons. And
Right.
I'd just like to pick his brain because he's not going to be here too much longer. And neither am I. So, but I'd like to pick his brain. And Rogan, I would like to ask about the stories he's covered and kind of ask him what you're asking us now. What were your favorites? Which ones you think were real? Which ones you think didn't, kind of thing. So, yeah, those were my two dream guests. But if I had to pick one, it'd be Lazar.
Nice.
Just the amount of episodes that Joe Rogan and just the amount of people that he's talked to.
Just the amount of
I
topics.
mean,
Just the amount of
it's
topics.
amazing.
It
It goes all over the place.
And
yeah.
and it's nice to have experts like he talked to Bigelow, and Bigelow would be a good one too.
Right.
And Lazar he's talked to and things like that. So he has talked to a lot of the number one, first generation kind of people, which we just don't have the resources, the fame, the leverage to bring that about. But I would still believe somebody sitting on their back porch just saw a flying saucer in there. If they give me a good enough accounting of it, I really don't. They're a first generation story, but they're not famous kind of thing. But so, yeah, he's talked to a lot of the people that we reference just because they're the only people in the media that we get to read about,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Steve, who would be your dream guest that we could get on?
I'd have to go with psychic medium Marianne Winkowski. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that name. Jeff, you might be.
You've referenced her a couple times.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
let me tell you. If you go back and listen to her Coast to Coast AM episodes, I'll tell you what, you'll listen to all 4 of those hours with, just is such randomness. And I learned so much about what she says happens after death. In the sense of like where our spirits go. And if you listen to her, it makes a lot of sense to me. This woman she's not as famous as I think she should be. This, the Ghost Whisperer show, which I know people have different opinions. I wasn't the biggest fan of that show, but that's actually kind of like loosely based on her life. But I'm telling you, if you go back and listen to her episodes on Coast to Coast AM, they will blow your mind because people would just call up and before they'd even start talking about what their experience and everything, Marianne would just jump in, tell them exactly where the ghost was in their house, describe exactly what the ghost looks like. And here's, and I would say this. Yeah, I guess it would be easy for somebody to just go, oh, you have a male who's about blah, blah, blah. That's not the way she would do it. She would go, okay, so if you go upstairs, and this is a woman who's never been to these houses, this is just random people calling coast to coast, right? And she would be like, okay, if you go upstairs right now and you take a left down the hallway and you go into the room, it looks like it's got blue walls, and she would describe all the furniture in the room. And she'd be like, listen, in the closet over there, there's a male approximately 45 years old. Did you recently went to a flea market, correct? And the guy or girl like, yeah, like, okay, if I understand this correctly, it came with a hammer. You purchased a hammer there. And for some odd reason, that ghost was it. I'm telling you, man, she would describe some of the craziest things that you're like, okay, I mean, look, it's show business. I get it. But I'm telling you, man, there's something about her, and she's from the Cleveland area, which I find so humbling, right? Now, she's getting older in age. That's why I'd love to see if we could have her. I don't know if she does many things anymore like that. I should check on if I can get a private reading from her before she's gone, because she's got to be in her mid to upper 70s at this point. But I'll challenge anybody to get as good of and this, the funniest part about it is she tells this story that when she was young and she first discovered her abilities, she's been to over 1,000 funerals. And the reason being is the family, once they found out what she could do, would actually invite her to their funeral, people that she's never met before. And she'd be able to tell them exactly where. And that's where I learned that, generally speaking, when you pass away, every spirit gets to attend their own funeral. And generally speaking, they're right next to the casket, sometimes behind it, and they're watching the crowd. And it's like a final farewell to their spirit. And she says that she only speaks to spirits who haven't crossed over. So once they cross over, she says she doesn't get to see them anymore. But if they didn't cross over, that's where she exactly knows where they're at and everything. I'm telling you right now, be one of the most fascinating guests we ever had. And Jeff, we could learn more about our haunting probably by talking to her about it. She could probably tell us a lot about what we truly experienced on 34.
You should put some
pursue
feelers
her.
out there. Yeah.
I mean,
You should pursue her.
I should. I just, I guess you're right. You never know. Worst case, the worst thing you're going to hear is no, right?
Yeah, all she
Yeah.
can say is no.
Yeah.
But I'll tell
Right,
you what,
right.
she would blow your guys' mind. I mean, obviously, look, guess wise, look, I mean, if we're talking ultimate dream guest, religious or non-religious, Jesus Christ would always be the first one
Oh,
that I
yeah.
would love to have, right? Because like you could learn, but beyond that, like somebody more realistic that I feel like would be Marianne Winkowski. I'm fascinated by her. So
I
It's a good
got
one.
you.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff?
For myself, I would love to have interviewed George Knapp.
Oh,
He's been a journalist for years, and I've always liked that journalism style. And then he got into the UFO and Bob Lazar and Skinwalker Ranch, and he's gotten so much information and pursued so much and reported on so much. It would just be fascinating to talk to him, me personally. But so that would be my dream guest to kind of sit there and chit chat with.
I think
great guess.
I think on some other guests that would be interesting would be our children, to see if they think we're as batshit crazy as we think they think we are.
I'll tell you right now, my kids would throw me under the
Yeah.
bus right now.
It would be. We might not publish that one. We'll film it, but we won't.
Yeah.
We may
And
not
twice
publish
on
it.
Tuesday. Twice on
There you-
Tuesday.
There you go.
All right, so next question up for consideration here. What types of episodes do you want to make more of in the next year? So we'll start with you, Steve. What types of episodes would you like to make more of?
Well, on a comedic, a little bit of more levity, the ones with Tyler kind of bring some fun, like in the sense of the reactionary videos. I thought the last one we had done with Tyler was a lot of fun because we had more debate. I know the first one went a little bit haywire and everything right with him, but the second one I thought we had actually done very well because I thought we had hit some topics that we already covered on the show, but got to kind of talk a little bit more in depth with him. And so, I'd say, at least quarterly, we should bring on Tyler for some more reactionary videos. But I was actually thinking about this. I just mentioned a psychic, and obviously we wouldn't have to have Marianne Winkowski, but I think it'd be really fascinating if we could find like a local hometown psychic or somebody, right? That we could bring on, somebody who could possibly speak to the dead and somebody who maybe could tell us, just different things like that. I think it would be really cool if we could actually find a psychic to be on our show, and just kind of ask her a lot of questions about it and, kind of describe to us how it works for them. Like, how does this, how does this work? And is it a struggle? I imagine it must be a lot of struggle.
Right. Wendell, what types of episodes would you like to see us doing this upcoming year?
Well, like I said, some biblical ones. AI. I'd really like to touch on AI again. That was our first episode, and we could do so much better with that now. And it's developed a little more, and we see some of the things going on with it that are phenomenal. AI, I think that's a big one. Stay on top of the disclosure one and all the aliens as it comes up. And I would say the biggest one we haven't talked about would be what our reality really is. Because when I'm by myself and I'm thinking about things, I struggle with. I don't think we live. It's not that I don't think we live in a matrix, but we don't live in a matrix like the movie that we saw, The Matrix. But I don't think cats are going to go twice by the door, and glitch like that. But I do wonder, maybe it's just my age too. As you get older, you wonder what's the point? Why did I even, besides the wonderful things that have happened in my life, children and stuff, but why? Because we're blessed. I mean, we live like kings compared to anybody else that ever lived in the history of man. We live like kings, better than any kings lived in the past. We live a much better life, and a lot of people just outside of us do. But I mentioned Warsaw, Poland in World War II last episode. A lot of the socialism talk is going on because of the local politics now. And you hear about the Chinese when they went socialist and the Russians when they went communist, about how the government took the land and then the landowners ended up getting beaten or embarrassed or, stuff thrown on them and then eventually killed. And then the people who ended up, all the other people that wanted the owner's land that were so mad about the wealth they had, they just ended up being slaves for the government that had to produce their quota or they got killed. So seeing all the hurt and all the chaos and massacres that have happened in our history, it's pretty obvious to me that God's not going to swoop down and save you no matter how bad your life gets. And it's really a dichotomy for me because I thank God every day for my blessings. I thank God every day for, children being healthy, and you pray for new children to be healthy. And, not that I really don't want to go into it any deeper about what may or may be the case, but I think I'd like to talk about that as well as our reality, because obviously, if you look at just some of the Chinese, when they went, was it Mao Zedong or whatever, when he took over,
Yeah.
there was no mercy. There was none. People starved to death. Kids starved to death. Not some, millions and millions of people did. You look at the Nazi camps, the Jewish camps. You look at, like I said, people that were just born at that time in Warsaw, Poland, had no chance. They were going to die. They were going to die miserably. And so it's pretty obvious to me that God isn't swooping in and regulating our daily lives. But then again, how do we get set up so nice the way we are now without God's grace? So I would just like to talk about our reality and what it may be. I mean, we talk about some of the alien stories about we're just containers for a soul. Well, what's the purpose of the soul? Where's it going? What's it doing? Where we go next? Like Steve said, it'd be great to learn where we go next. Besides, our beliefs, we have our religious beliefs where we go.
Yeah.
But just to talk about our reality would be an interesting topic, I think, too.
I think that'd be a great topic. Honestly, Wendell.
It's a deep one. It's a deep one,
Yeah,
man, because you get into stuff.
It'd be interesting, the depth, because what you had mentioned about the Matrix, there are a lot of people out there who believe that we're in the Matrix, and they have different ways of trying to prove that. So yeah, actually, I think that'd be a fascinating topic. Wendell, we'll have to.
Yeah, and you just look around, things just don't make sense sometimes. You look around and from tax laws to, what's the point? And it's deep though. It is deep.
Yeah. Oh,
but, But yeah, I'd like to talk about that sometime. But AI is a big one. AI is a big one. I like the alien one. Anytime we can keep up on the aliens, and I want to see some biblical ones, some more ghost stories.
Yeah.
I would like to hear. I loved La Llorona, and I don't know if you're going to ask. Are you going to ask what our greatest achievement was, Jeff? Is that one of your questions? If it's not, I think one of the best things we produced was that damn song, that White Shaw River. It did not exist before we did this show, and it exists now, and we brought it into reality. And I think that's a home run. I just think it's, anybody that doesn't like heavy metal music will turn it off in the first 2 beats. But if they know the story of La Llorona and you listen to that song, it is so awesome.
It's
But
haunting.
I think that's one of the best things we've done.
Yeah,
we've
that's
produced.
haunting.
Yeah.
Jeff, what do you think, man?
As far as episodes go, I would like to do more episodes with guests about any topic, just to get their stories with us and just see how they react, just to get their stories out. Because a lot of the people, they if you give them a platform, they like to get their stories out, to get it off their chest sometimes. And I would just love to hear from people. So, I mean, any topic I'm good at, or I'm good with talking about any topic as far as in the realm that we talk about. But just to hear from more guests would be my choice.
I don't think we've cracked that nut yet.
We'll get there.
No.
On guests.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I just don't think
Right.
we're known for that yet.
And that's okay. We'll get
Yeah.
there. I mean, obviously, we keep going. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll keep trudging through.
Yep.
Next one. If the podcast was making a horror movie, what actors would you want to be casted as you? Oh, so Buried Stories, the movie. All right. Steve, we'll go to you as far as what actors would you want to play you, myself, and Wendell?
Well, I can't speak for you or Wendell. I'm just going to discuss who I want to play for me. Okay, honestly, because I'll leave the judgments for you guys, to look. The only person that can play me, honestly, is Vince Vaughn. That guy is the only one who could bring this kind of energy, the type of energy that I need to be like released. I'd love to see how Vince Vaughn interprets me. Like I could see him doing that kind of old school approach to it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And but yet I've seen that guy play some deep roles too. So I mean, a lot of people might think that he always plays the same role. I think there are intricacies to it, but I mean that guy, just his energy and everything. It's got to be Vince Vaughn, honestly, for me.
Good choice. Good choice. I can see him playing you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wendell, what would your character be, or what actor would you bring for you?
Who's the guy who did the Bourne Identity? Matt Damon?
Matt Damon.
That's who I would pick.
For you.
Yeah.
I love it, Wendell.
Yeah.
And just looking at myself in the camera, the guy, he was in Superbad. He was in Year One. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I don't know the guy's name off the top of my head, but well, there's 2 people, either him or Jim Hedder from Napoleon Dynamite. I could see him because he what? And I know I have glitches.
You know what? So. I'm surprised, Jeff, that you didn't say Steve Buscemi for you.
Oh, you know what?
Steve Buscemi would play a good Jeff, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Seriously.
Yeah, I could see him doing playing me as well. So
yeah, I swear Steve Buscemi would be great for you, Jeff. Honestly, that'd be the guy.
So well, you know what? With that, people watching, leave a comment below as to what actors would play us in a movie. All right, next question. What topic do you guys still want to cover? Well, we kind of covered that as far as like what topic. I mean, there's so many like topics.
All of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
personally, I'll just throw this out real quick. And I know we're going to get it on the boards here pretty soon. I can't wait to do the Phoenix Lights. There's something about that. And I'm glad we haven't glossed over it. Like, I'm hoping that we do some more episodes because I want to do that one justice. I just feel like it needs for us to do some good research on it. And, it's going to be an hour show. And I'll tell you what, I can't wait to do that. Because Wendell, when we had covered that little bit with just the Phoenix Lights, I'd learned more about that than I knew before. I mean, I always kind of thought that those specific video he played was the craft, and you were explaining, no, that's actually flares, and that was so there's what I'm getting at here is I think that there's so much to crack on that one. That one just, I can't wait. And but in the sense, I still want to wait. Like, I want to make sure we get that one right.
Yeah, that one needs to be done correctly.
Yeah.
All right. What conspiracy theory or paranormal event scares you the most? Oh, Wendell. What paranormal? Now, you've never experienced, and you've said this, never experienced anything paranormal. Is that correct?
Yeah. No, nothing. It would change my life if it did. That's why the Phoenix Lights, like Steve said, is so consequential. If people saw what they said they saw, it would change your life every day. Going to work wouldn't be the same. Yeah. Yeah, it would change things. And demons are mine.
Yeah.
Demons are the scariest for me. Because I think evil has took root in our world, without sounding too down about things, but I look around, either evil or stupidity, one or the other. But I think evil. I think that good and evil battle is real. I really do. And maybe in the end, we talk about all these different things, why we're here and stuff. Maybe we're just pawns on a good evil stage. And I had demons, and there's obviously something that created us. Something did. We believe it's God, and and all the biblical stories of how and why and what. But demons are the scariest to me because I think it's something that it's not just a demon, like you're going to see a manifestation of a demon. I think evil can get in your mind, and evil can get in, your soul, which is worse. And that's the scariest to me.
That's fair enough. Yeah. Steve, how about you? Conspiracy theory or paranormal event that scares you the most?
I'd have to go. I mean, look, I think honestly, Wendell just cracked the egg with the demon for sure. I mean, obviously that, but the one that kind of, I was thinking about this before, was the Mandela effect. I don't know what it is about that, but it makes me think that, like, because once I had heard that, it started to make me really think. Now, look, obviously, maybe it's just plants in our mind. Like, somebody puts this theory out there, and then you're like, oh my God, like it just like dawns on you. Or somebody is playing with the timeline. Like something, I don't know if it's potentially two dimensions that kind of like, how they talk about like timelines being like long strands, and sometimes they bump into each other and like cross through a little bit. I don't know if it's that. I don't know. But I feel like sometimes somebody's messing with the timeline. Now, could go back, Wendell, to like we've talked about aliens and whether they're just us after like so many years, could be 1,000 years. maybe somebody's trying to reverse some of the things that we've done now. Maybe after our time is destructive. They talk about a lot about, environmental factors, all this stuff. And what I mean is, but regardless, I think there is something messing with our timeline. Now, obviously, you can grab individual Mandela effect stories and are they true? Are they not? You could kind of dig deep into it, but I don't know. There's something eerie about it. And Wendell, that could go back to what you were talking about maybe potential Matrix type of, are we living in a virtual world? I'm not sure. I just feel like that scares me, that if something can manipulate the timeline like that, potentially, that scares me. I don't know what it is,
I got you. Here's mine. And so I'm the Bible guy, correct? Okay. So with that knowledge, you guys know where I stand. But there's always what if, that what if. And I'm not saying that I believe this, but I'm saying, what if everything we've ever been taught is false? And once you're gone, there's nothing. To me, that's the most frightening thing that there is, because you're gone. Like, all of you. So that's just my opinion.
That's a good one.
What we talk about along those lines, Jeff, what we talk about, some of it may be true, some of it may be not. We love searching for it. We love trying to uncover it.
Right.
We love trying to search for the truth, is what we always say. But all I know is that what a sadistic existence we have if we're not able to talk about this stuff. To think about it.
Yeah.
If you wake up and you're small and you get up and you get educated and you go to your job, and then you get old and obsolete, and then you die. And it's interesting because the older I get, growing up, I see all these superstars, baseball stars, rock stars, football stars, basketball stars. I see them all. And actors that are in Hollywood, movies, and famous beyond belief, wealthy beyond belief. And I look at them as they get older, and they're still doing the same thing, like a rock star still doing the band thing. And I saw, matter of fact, Dusty Baker the other day, I saw him in a dugout. He's done everything there is in baseball, super famous, super rich. And I thought, I wouldn't trade my life for anything for that dude's. He's in a dugout at 78 years old. That's all he's ever known.
Yeah.
That's all. I love baseball. Baseball has been very, very good to my family. And, but there's more. There's more in this world. And to see people, the actors and actresses that are 80 something and they're still trying to pose in front of a fake background like mine, and worried about their hair and their weight and how they look and the vanity of it. And I wouldn't trade places for, and not that I do have a great life, but I would never want their existence. And growing up, that's all we thought they were so successful. And we thought they were what it was all about. They're in hell. They're pigeonholed in hell. And so, yeah, it's interesting. The things we talk about, though, gives us some freedom and possibility and hope. You know what I mean? Because I know just living mundane day-to-day stuff and doing what we're supposed to.
Well, I'm saying
would kill
once the lights go out, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no more consciousness, nothing else.
That is scary.
That used to keep me up, like when I was 12, laying in bed going, my gosh, I almost don't want to go to sleep. So,
but what can you do about it?
There's nothing. There's
nothing.
That
is scary, Jeff. That is scary.
Yeah.
Seriously. Because I've always been of the belief that we go on somehow, some way. But maybe you're right. And then, you know what? If that's true, boy, it's like Wendell just said, what was it for then?
Yeah.
If you don't, if you're not taking this education of some sort of just life experiences somewhere that you learn about this, that, like some growth or something like that. I gotta tell you, I agree with you, Jeff. If it's just done and it's done and that's it.
That's the whole essence of the Palladium theory is you take what you learn from this one and you don't remember it consciously, but you're wiser. You make better, from your
It's like
past
your
lives.
soul has experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah. It's interesting.
So, that's a good one, Jeff.
All right, the last one up on the list. What's your biggest goal for the show in year 2? Wow, year 2. We'll go with Wendell. We'll start with you. Year 2. What's your biggest goal?
I had to get better at it. Try to find some truth. Connect some dots. That's my goal. I have no other goal than to try to connect and learn some things, and I'd love to solve some stuff. It'd be, and I think bouncing it off, you'll never solve anything if you never talk to anybody and hear their opinion and what it could be. Just like I think that Trumbull County one, I think we know what happened there now. And the wart bubble, same thing. We connected some dots there, and that's no longer a mystery. The only thing is a mystery is how to do it. So when you get rid of it, you can stop talking about a lot of the stuff everybody's been, oh my God, they can do this and that. But I just want to connect dots, find some truths. That's fun. That's energizes me. Once and make a difference. I'd like to make a difference, help somebody along the way if we can, so maybe one of our guests provide an outlet for them. But I don't want to act too sanctimonious. That's not I'd love to help people if they'd let us, if we can, but I just want to connect some dots, find some truth, and talk to some interesting people, hear some interesting stories. I've already heard stories I've never heard of before. So do some more of that and talk to you guys as long as I can. I mean, while we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve, how about you?
I think going back to what you guys said, I'd like to get more guests on here. And secondly, I'd like to get more emails and comments. And I'd like us to cover that because what was it? Was it Ethel last week, Jeff? Was it who was it? Ethel? I mean, dude, hey, listen, it was a hard pill to swallow, right? But at the same time, though, I got to tell you, I liked hearing it, even if it was negative. I like the feedback. I'd like to get more audience participation. Just send us more comments. Send us emails. Even if it's, hey, Steve, you got a face for radio and I wish you would put it behind, you know what I mean? Like something, I would love to hear it. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
That would be my goal, is just to get more audience participation and get more guests involved. Because there's a lot of people out there, just common, regular folk like us that would be just, and you guys have already done it. Like just the people you have talked to, just regular everyday folks who've experienced something odd or have a hell of a story to tell. That's what this show is here for. And again, if you don't feel comfortable, just send us an email or send us a comment. I don't care what it's about. I hope year 2, we have a whole section in our show. Hopefully it's at the beginning, maybe at the end, where we throw out comments and emails. So
good. I'm going to keep my goals kind of low. My goal is to do a full another year. And I think if we reach that plateau, and I mean, get better as we're going, is every time we talk, we're getting a little bit better. But if we reach that, I mean, the sky's the limit to me after that, as far as what we could do. So that's where I go with it. You guys want to get into some of these comments?
Absolutely.
Of the first year?
I'm excited. Give it to us, man.
Okay, let me pull this up real quick. Give me 1 second.
By the way, Wendell, did you get to hear from good old Ethel?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did.
quite
Yeah,
quite an email, right?
yeah,
Quite an
yeah,
email, right?
yeah. Humbling.
And what was her dog's name, Jeff?
Snobbles.
Schnobbles.
Schnubbles. Yep.
Snubbles. Good old Snubbles. Ethel, I hope you're well, by the way.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's funny is I pull up YouTube and it gives me this happy 1 year anniversary.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let me get some of these. All right. So we'll start with this was on our a big YouTube not YouTube, a short about Bigfoot. Is Bigfoot real? Let me grab this. Somebody commented, wow, still with this? They found the guy and the suit. So we were talking about the Patterson Gimlin
Yeah.
photo, and
Yeah.
somebody, what we thought of it, and the person, wow, still with this? They found the guy in the suit, which I don't know. Did they find the guy in the
I've
suit?
never heard
I've
it.
never heard of that.
No. Again, I think that goes back to the story when I was telling you guys about it. I was listening to Russell Acord talk about it at this talk that him and Dr. Mariah Mayer talked about. And Russell was just talking about how there's this documentary that's coming out or is out, one or the other. I haven't seen it yet, where supposedly they had found additional footage that looked like a test run of it. But according to Russell Acord, it's not. So, look, I'm yet to hear anything specific about it, but I think we'll be talking about that footage 20 years from now
Yeah.
still.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I haven't
that
heard
thing.
it. I
Yeah.
haven't heard any credible debunking of it yet, but
No.
who knows?
Let's see. From the Cannock Chase.
Oh,
This comment says Lee B is a known local fantasist and grifter. He has made a few local stories up and claims they're folklore. It's folklore. A simple Google search of his claims will show no sightings or reports prior to any he tells regarding the subjects of his books, most notably the Pigman and Zombie Miner claims. Then it goes on to say, it saddens me when I see people not do real research on any sources they use in their video.
Yeah.
So we got that.
touche.
Nice. Yeah,
Touche.
Touche, yeah.
I agree.
Hey, I'm not
I
a
agree.
college professor. I'm not breaking open
No.
encyclopedias back here.
Nope.
We're just talking about stuff, and
We
it is
appreciate
what it
your
is.
point, though.
yeah, but I do.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
a point well taken.
It
If-
is very much so.
Yeah, I mean, if we were trying to convince you one way or the other, I think it would apply more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A comment on the Westall UFO incident.
One of my favorite episodes. I love that.
Gotcha. What a bunch of nonsense.
Listen, I think it goes back to what Wendell was saying. If we're trying to convince you on this show, but honestly, I think there's a lot there to be said. And look, I think we talk about a lot of subjects where there isn't a lot of tremendous evidence, right? If there was, we probably wouldn't be covering it on this show, would we? Or it wouldn't technically be a buried story, right?
Right.
If
Yeah, it
it
wouldn't
was
be
already
buried.
figured out and everything. So, but hey, again, I appreciate the comments. I very much do, and I appreciate everybody's feedback on it. And
Yeah.
it doesn't bother. I mean, I thought the story's fascinating, but hey, to some people, probably horse shit to them. You know what I mean? So.
Well, the one thing about that story is there's so many witnesses.
Yeah.
All the way down to the police and the military. That I know there's people that are going to be like, it's a bunch of nonsense, and that's fine. I'm just saying that there's a lot of witnesses to that one.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have here? Just going through. The Virginia. Let me pull that one up.
God, I hope this is good. Like even if it's bad.
Let's see. Virginia, Brazil incident. Take a flying leap.
There you go.
God
Well, I'll
bless
tell
you.
you what. I took a leap for joy because we did cover that. That was a good episode, but there's some people, it's not for everybody. you know?
Sir, whoever you are, or Mrs., whoever you are, God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Because just the fact that you came here just to say that, I hope it
Yeah.
made you feel better. And
Yeah.
besides, you're involved. And that's
Yeah.
what we really
Right.
needed
Yeah.
you to be. So,
We're just
And
three
yeah,
guys
I
talking
mean-
about buried stories.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And this comments on the 11 missing scientists that we
Oh.
covered, which was
Interesting
it was
story.
a good episode.
Yeah.
Really interesting. It says Frank Wilburn knows about Amy Eskridge. So we'd have to go back and find out who Frank Wilburn is and the correlation with Amy Eskridge on that. So I found that to be interesting.
Yep.
The Pie Saw Bird. Remember that one?
I love that episode.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, Reynaldi Garcia.
Yep. All right, this comment here, my favorite type of podcast. Well, we love you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Favorite type of podcast. And it's ours too.
Bless them. I hope they're still listening.
Yeah. Yes. Let's see. What else we got? Talk amongst yourselves.
You know, another one that may be incomplete was that one that's on the Highlands. They would go out to that shack. Well, you remember in England?
What
That
were
was
those
a-
shanties called?
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
Oh,
one, too.
yeah.
Steve?
You know what that was? I agree, because that the comedy of that is Jeff cutting off the best part about it.
I know.
And that was just, well, I don't even know. Is that a real episode still out there? Like, is that
it's still out
that
there.
on our list?
Yeah, it's out there.
Oh, you know what? I'll have to do a search into that.
I don't know
to
if
see
it
if
is.
it's out there.
I don't think it
Yeah.
is, because we tried to duplicate, like we tried to put 2 in 1, and I think that that was a wild one. But I agree that would have been a good
Yeah.
one to remaster. If we don't have it, we should go and revisit it again, because I think this time we could do it solely on that. And I think I found a couple more episodes. First of all, the Happy Hippie. If you guys remember the Happy Hippie, Jeff, we laughed so hard.
Yeah.
What was he eating, Jeff? What was he eating?
Oh my God. Hummus. No,
Hummus.
not hummus.
No?
Yeah.
No?
No, it was something else.
It was the goat stomach stuff.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Haggis.
Haggis. That's what it was, man.
that's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, listen, if that episode doesn't exist, we really honestly got to revisit that and have Tyler on here. And I'm sure I could find a couple more videos on that. So that'd be a great episode.
Here's a couple more. This one was on the Trumbull County, which that was a fascinating episode. This comment says, "Yeah, Steve, this is what you were made for. Can't wait to listen to them all." So you got a
Nice.
fan.
Steve,
Nice.
superstar.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Absolutely.
No, we got a Ringo in the band.
Yeah, ain't it? This one was on the Gin and the Watchers.
Oh.
So that's where the term king size bed comes from. LOL. New subscriber, loving this, guys. So thank you
There
so
you go.
much for that.
Thank you.
We
Love and
talked about
appreciate you, whoever you are.
yeah.
We love and appreciate you.
Let's see here. Still going through this. Man, we got a lot of videos up here.
Oh yeah.
This was Steve. This was on your when you went to Waverly Hills,
Okay.
and definitely want to check out Waverly. So there's a fan
Absolutely.
talking about going out to Waverly.
You know, that brings up a good point. In the next year, it
Mhm.
would be awesome if we did take like a field trip together somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like be able to do live from somewhere. We just each
That
bring
would
our
be a good.
computer and just film
Yeah.
it together. You know, that'd be pretty cool. Be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That'd be a
Do
good
like a
one.
ghost hunt or something.
And this is the some comments about the 34th Street haunting, and man, that was almost a 2-hour episode there.
Yeah.
That was a long episode. That took me weeks to edit. All right, somebody says this could be a movie. Great episode.
Yep.
That was what, episode 2, Wendell? So
Yeah.
I feel like that's true
Ah.
though.
yeah.
Yep.
Another
stuff.
person writes, wait, so you're telling me the couple times I did the Ouija board, you weren't the one moving it?
Yeah.
I wasn't a believer, so that's what I thought. Oh,
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you didn't close it out right, you got a problem.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And so that's the comments we have so
Cool.
far. And so it is great getting comments. So people, leave a comment below. Please send us your stories so we can get you, if you'd like to be on, so we could have you on. Just email us at buriedstories74@gmail.com. Leave a comment below if you like this episode. And any last words on this episode, Steve?
Look, I look to another year of growth and opportunity. You know, we're gonna hit some great topics. I look forward to having this conversation again next July, right? Like ended
Mhm.
next July. Sit down with both of you. Hopefully we're healthy enough at that time to have that. Hopefully we're all here. Hopefully all our families are still here. You know, a year's a long time. And I look forward to discussing what we've covered this coming year, right? Like the topics that we're going to cover. And I look forward to hearing from people. And thank you very much for starting this show, guys. Thank you very much for making my Tuesdays a lot more entertaining and kind of brings a different aspect to my life. So just kind of get on here and have this medium, have a conversation with you two. It's amazing.
And Wendell, you, any last words on this episode?
Yeah. Thank you guys. I've really enjoyed it the year. Thank you for all your participation and back and forth, and really enjoyed it. I'd like to thank all of our families for indulging us. I know some of them just pacify us kind of thing, and I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's ours. And I appreciate all the patience and, you know, our wives having the patience with us we carve out. It's not just the hour or so that we do this. It's a little more than that, from the prep and then the editing, and then the 14 times that we watch the episode after it's produced. So, and then trying to get everybody else to watch it. That's kind of the funniest thing it's been for the years. Try to get everybody else and they're just not into it. Like they're just not as
Right.
interested sometimes as I am. But but I do really appreciate all the support that we all get from our families. I've really enjoyed the time with you guys. Thank Tyler for me, and my son, and everybody else that participates on the program, even in the back, you know, the backstage is Jamie and everybody. And I think we get a lot of the comments that people make, not just the ones you read, but the ones people come up to us and talk about.
Mhm.
They really mean a lot. It's getting a little tough having to carry a Sharpie everywhere I go now, just in case somebody recognizes me. But it's a cross I'll bear, and but enjoyed it. Looking for more fun. I look forward to it every week, and hopefully we can continue doing it.
I hear that. And ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for the comments, whether good or bad. It doesn't matter. I thank you for allowing us to talk and that you take the time and watch. That's a big thing. There's so
Yeah.
much out there that you could watch, and if you took the time to watch us, we thank you so much, because it's a blessing just to talk to each other about different subjects that we enjoy, and it's not everybody's cup of tea. But then again, we just want to say thank you so much, and to our families and to our friends and to everybody in the background that helps us out. We appreciate you so much, and maybe we'll have some merch this year to to send out and stuff. So be looking for that. Be looking for so many more stories and your participation. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to say thank you for watching. And until next time, don't let your story stay buried.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Yep,
Yep.
absolutely. Thank you.
Dark clouds rolling over, whispered secrets in the wind. Eyes searching for truth, lost in shadows never end. Fingers grasping at whispers, threads of doubt intertwined. Heart heavy with wonder, mysteries grip on my mind. Unraveling this enigma, shrouded in the midnight mist, chasing ghosts and shadows, questions in the dark persist. Silent echoes call my name, haunted by what's unseen. Past lost in confusion, awake inside this dream. Fingers grasping at whispers, threads of doubt intertwined. Heart heavy with wonder, mysteries grip on my mind. Fingers grasping at whispers, threads of doubt in her whispers, threads of doubt in her wonder, mysteries grip on my mind. Unraveling this enigma, shrouded in the midnight mist, chasing ghosts and shadows, questions in the dark persist. Footsteps lead to nowhere, answers fade like smoke. Hands reaching through darkness, gripping words that choke. Unraveling this enigma, shrouded in the midnight mist, chasing ghosts and shadows, questions in the dark persist. Voices whisper from nowhere, maps drawn in the night sky. I see what they're shown, truth hidden from my sight. Footsteps lead to nowhere, Answers fade like smoke. Hands reaching through darkness, gripping words that choke.